Dollars on our mind. Ideas all the time. We might get distracted, but we're building wealth just fine. This is dollars and distractions. If we went off track, just know we're coming back. More money, more mindset, no holding back. Dollars and distractions.
Welcome to Dollars and Distractions. Yeah, we put this together. You're laughing already. All right, so the idea behind Dollars and Distractions was that people don't have a money problem, they have a clarity problem.
Yes. So by clarity, we're meaning that even if they think they're dumb about finances, they're likely not, right? Or
100%.
yeah, or we need to find them clarity on the things that they. My words are not coming out. I have heaps of words, but they're not coming out.
Well, I think so. To your point, I think it's that sometimes people are afraid to even ask.
Yes.
Or they don't know what they don't know, so they don't know to ask. And that can make them feel at times dumb.
Yes.
Which it shouldn't.
Nope. Because when we were talking yesterday, it's not something we were ever taught.
Absolutely not.
Mostly.
No.
Unless you were role modeled it. Yeah. We weren't taught it, which we probably should have been in school, like what we do with it, how we budget
Don't
it.
get me started on that.
Yes. And some people, if they think that they aren't good with money, then likely they probably are good with money. And again, off the back of what we were saying, it's not something that our grandparents talked about. So we probably all don't go around saying, how much do you spend every week and how much do you in different families? And
So, and I think that's where half of this feeling dumb or feeling like you don't know kind of comes from, because money in a lot of households back in the day was a taboo topic.
Absolutely.
I know, definitely. I couldn't tell you about my parents' finances or anything. I mean, look, it's none of my business, but
yes,
I couldn't tell you any finance conversations we had. I think we were very protected.
Yes.
But I think also that came as a slight disservice because I didn't understand how money worked until much later in life.
Yeah, and I suppose too now as the generations go on, even you think of the physicality of cash back then, right? And you went and brought whatever, it had a value to it because you used it more. But now too, the value is not as physical as it once was as well.
Well, in the words of my son when he was maybe 3, can I get this? No, we don't have any money. Just go to that wall and get more money.
Yeah,
Is that easy?
100%. Yeah.
So I guess that's the premise of this whole podcast show.
Yes.
It's more about having conversations about money so that people can listen in. We're definitely going to go off track because we always do. It's what happens all day in the office. But we figured we're having these conversations every day while we sit next to each other working on applications, looking at clients and different things we do. So why not buy some microphones, put them in front of us and see what happens.
It's not karaoke.
We'll do that later.
I know.
But yeah, so that people can be privy to the inside conversations of mortgage broker industry people.
Yeah.
Now my words aren't working, but you and I combined have over 40 years worth of finance industry experience. And so I'll share that story about on the weekend, a few weekends ago. Even we had even the two of us had are we missing something? Are we dumb? Moment.
I do that a lot though.
Do you want to talk about it?
But I asked you the question, so I was the one feeling dumb because I read what was it? A post, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was a simple social media post.
Yeah, and that's to the point of that there's so much information out there that you can feel dumb about what's right and what's wrong, or sometimes too you believe what something actually is saying as gospel, but then you don't really. There's lots of other options out there. But see, I went digressed. You asked me a question and I went totally the other way.
I'm following.
This is what I do. So I read a post and it had something to do with debt recycling, which I'd never heard of before, but it was stating that if you do something in a certain way, you could pay your home loan off not in 30 years, it was 7
Not even
years.
in 10 years, yep.
So, yeah, and one even went to like 1 year and 10 months. Remember, I think was it that one? Or,
Yep.
Yeah, another one. And then I reached out to you and I said, what is this? Because if I don't know about this, I need to know about this. Because, yeah, at the bank, you would think that we would be taught the right way and what's available.
And you would think after 20 years in the finance industry, if there
Would have
was
heard.
a silver bullet, we would know and be preaching
And what
it
is this conspiracy that everyone's hiding from us?
Yeah, and how can we all own our homes in a year, 2 years' time and then start leveraging that?
Yep.
So
our discussion.
when you messaged me that, full disclosure, I think I even told you this, I was like, okay, so I could read through the post and go, I understand that, know that, get that, totally get that. But then I even had to go and do a little bit of Googling to go, what am I missing? How could they? And without going into too much detail on the post, it is some good marketing, to say the least.
Marketing.
Is it great marketing, though? Because it's really only aimed at people who have a very low loan balance, already have a large amount of savings in their offset. Pretty much the tweaks and don't get me wrong, these are really good, important tweaks that everyone can take on board to save money on their mortgage, hence why we're doing this podcast. But it's certainly not, when you read, reduce your 30-year loan term to 1 year, 2 years, 7 years, you read that and go, I need to speak to that broker. But that's not necessarily what's happening here. And I think, to your point, when social media is clouded with great marketing, it makes normal people, even brokers who've been in the industry for 20 years, feel dumb.
Felt dumb.
And you shouldn't, because there was nothing new in that. There was nothing new in that. It was just fancy words. Debt recycling, it's a fancy word. Maximizing offset, fancy words.
Yeah.
Rediverting principal payments from investment properties to owner-occupied, it's fancy words.
Yeah.
We're just going to take all those fancy words and put them at my level, where anyone can understand them.
But then you also think, with our experience, we've heard those fancy words day in, day out for however long. But if you're just a normal person hearing that, then that is just confusing. Yep, overwhelming. So then when it becomes overwhelming, then you don't want to do it. Like we're saying, so like if it feels too hard, you just don't. I personally, if it feels too hard, often I'll deal with that.
So I'm going to take us off on a tangent just quickly. We keep saying like we talked about yesterday.
Yes.
And the reason we keep saying like we talked about yesterday is because we already recorded this yesterday.
We did.
But Maryanne hooked up the one microphone to the two of us.
It was a setup, wasn't it?
And this could very well be a third take after today. We don't know. We don't know. This is all trial and error. Anyway, sorry, back to what you were saying. I think you're right, because I think people get to a point where you're told so much information, and the finance industry is clever, because the more confusing they make it sound, the more people go, I don't understand, I don't know, and I'm too far behind to catch up. I'm just going to pay my mortgage over 30 years and let my interest rates skyrocket up to the 7%, and because I don't understand. And I think that's a risk.
Or on the flip of that, you've got people that either first home buyers, people who have thought about investing with the equity they've now gathered, but then going, well, I don't really know enough about it, or you start to read into it and there's so much information, but then you also, in the back of it, you're going, I should be, further ahead than I am, but the point of this was for people to feel like comfortable enough to come and talk to somebody, and not necessarily us, but somebody, to get the information before you even get to the point
Absolutely.
of buying.
So that to provide that space where people feel comfortable
Yeah.
to say, hey, this might be a dumb question, but, and in all honesty, there is no such thing as a dumb question,
Yep.
except the question that doesn't get asked.
Yep.
Because if you don't understand, you should be asking more questions.
Absolutely. But also feeling safe with someone. And hopefully we are those people that I think we are. We're very safe people to, relate to, but for them to be able to feel like you can ask us those questions and there's no judgment.
If I'm being honest, I think maybe also to the safe part, I'm very good at making something complex sound very simple.
Yes.
Because that's how my brain works.
Same.
So all these complex things, and I can take it and go, okay, so effectively you're just telling me this.
Yeah.
Easy. That's okay. I can understand that. So I'm quite good. And I love when I'm talking to clients and they, especially first home buyers, will come in with, there's this grant, there's this scheme, there's this scheme, there's that scheme, there's what? I don't even know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I can just quieten all the noise, cut through it all and go, this is what is appropriate to you with what your plans are for the future. So let's look at that.
And the way that we would approach that is that, like we've been trained for a long time, is to uncover, because it's necessary to uncover what your goal is, because I'll go back to the banking world or finance world, but it's life stages, right? So you're taught, like in your 20s, obviously you've got different goals to when you're in your 30s and then your 40s and then your 50s, but then tailoring that to people, like, what is your goal? And if you actually sat and thought, what is your goal?
100%.
In anything, can be personal. Do you want to travel more? Like, how can you leverage the equity out of your house to travel more at any age, really? But coming back to what the goal is, and then it's our job to simplify it, right?
Well, I think that's and this will be a shameless plug, but whatever. I think that's the difference between working with a broker versus working with a bank.
Yes.
We can tailor. So if your short-term goal is you want to get into your first property, your long-term goal is you want to have 5 properties by the time you're 40, we can structure that and work with you.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of clients we're looking for, right? We're not looking for clients that just want a quick loan. They'll go with us for now and then they'll sort it out later. We're looking for clients that want to grow with us.
Through their life stages.
Through their life stages.
Yeah.
And we can watch them accomplish them, cheer them on, but give them the right advice back in year 1 that's going to help them get to their long-term plans. And obviously those plans change.
100%, yeah.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But as long as we know where someone wants to get to, we can work with them to help them, give them the right advice so that they've got the right things.
And as we we were saying, me coming from the bank only 6 months ago, then the thing that's opened my eyes is not all banks, but I mean some banks, like if you don't fit into a box, then there's only a certain amount we can help you with. Otherwise, it's kind of like, you do look after, they're looked after, but to a certain point, if that bank particular is not writing to certain schemes or not, the serviceability, their appetite might be very different at the time of what they, are needing as a bank. I think the broker world opens up just a whole
So
oyster.
much more.
Yeah, for that conversation of what do you need from a loan, or what life stage are you at, which is what I'm loving about this world, is that you can actually help people from start to finish most of the time.
Even
right?
with some outside the box options, which we don't tap into very often, but yeah, absolutely.
And even coming into this, with my experience, there are things that are available that I didn't know were available, because you're only told or taught or, so much. But yeah, there are lenders out, which was our Mythbuster of the week, about needing a 20% deposit to buy.
Yes.
Without LMI. So I didn't make that clear yesterday, because yes, you can buy at above 80%, but I think the myth there is that you'll get charged mortgage insurance over 80%.
Yeah.
But there are schemes and lenders who will do that.
Absolutely.
Lend you over 80%.
So there's some lenders that will go up to 85% without charging lenders mortgage insurance.
Yeah.
But then we also have the government schemes that will help get you in.
Yeah.
And we've also got guarantor loans as well.
Yeah.
So, we do a fair few guarantor loans to help first home buyers get in without having to add thousands of dollars worth of lenders mortgage insurance onto their loan.
Yeah. Which is that light bulb moment for people. I think if you talk to them, you could probably be doing something before you even without knowing the knowledge or the information, you could be doing it sooner than you think. Or
a lot of first home buyers will
aim-
say the two roadblocks to getting your foot in the property market is I don't have enough deposit and borrowing capacity.
yeah,
So I don't have enough deposit. We could look at guarantor lending.
yep,
Or if you've got some deposit, there's the scheme. And then for borrowing capacity, there is also the scheme of the Help to Buy scheme. So
yeah. Or even that first general chat, this is how much I'm borrowing. This is what the houses are I'm looking at. What can I borrow?
yes.
You know, how much do I need to earn to borrow?
Yeah. Well, I had a meeting with a client on the weekend and we even talked rent vesting. No.
Cough.
Cough.
Can you edit that?
Yeah. Of course I can.
I'm going to cough like a tickle.
I'm putting that up on social media though.
You can't do that. You can't do that. That's like a blooper.
Yeah, so on the weekend I had a meeting with a client who it's their borrowing capacity that was just a bit shy. And I've forgotten where I'm going with that. So yeah, it was really good.
Standard.
It's probably, I don't know how long we've been going for, not very long. Let me just have a quick check. 30 minutes, yeah. And we're at 16. We got heaps.
Okay.
That probably takes me, hold on, let me sit properly. It probably takes me to a really good point about why I became a broker. So working in the finance industry already. Obviously it was twofold. I knew family reasons that I wanted to build something, but also I was having to decline loans for clients that I would have lent them the money if it was in my bank account. And that's always the test we do.
Yeah.
You know, if this was my money and I was lending it to this person, how would I feel comfortable doing that? And I absolutely, no question, would have lent this client the money. But they didn't fit, like you said before, that box.
Yeah.
So I would have to call them and say, you're a high net worth client. You're an amazing client.
I used to call it the breakup call.
Oh, I hate it. I have no solutions for you. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
And then the next day, that beautiful client called me back and said, just letting you know, went down the road, spoke to a broker, got it done. And look, I was pumped for him because like I said, I would have lent him the money had I have had it. He was a great client. But the thing that frustrated me is that, you know, I've got my manager saying, well, you know, what are you doing? What's your stats? How are you? Because back then it was very...
It was back then, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going, well, I had an application. You guys didn't want to do it because it didn't tick that box. And yet we know it's a deal. He went elsewhere. So it was about me opening up those solutions. And I, like you, had no idea just what options are available out there to people.
Absolutely.
And so if you're not involved in conversations about private lenders, and there's some people that say I would never use a private lender, and most people won't, but there's a place for them.
Oh, absolutely.
And I've got examples of when I've had clients use them and it's worked out for them, and things like that when you're stuck in your own world and you're not exposed to it, you don't know they exist, and then there might be an opportunity for you to get ahead by using or just knowing these things.
Absolutely. And it also, I think, like not a bank versus broker type situation, but I think there's just way more opportunity in it. What, there's 70% of people use brokers now?
I was going to say, look, it's not a bank versus broker, and it's not a broker versus broker or anything like that, as long as clients are getting the information and the education that they need.
But there is a reason that people are using a broker.
There's a reason we're at 70%, over 70%, I think.
Yeah, some ridiculous amount of brokers and whatever that, I can't remember.
I think that speaks to the fact that I like to think, I know we do, I don't know about other brokerages, but I am sure that they do, that we educate and work with clients ongoing, and it's not a I remember back when I first got my loan, and again, nothing to do with the broker that did it, and we're stoked he helped me get into my first property on my own, but it was very much okay, this is the bank you're going with, sign here, and off you go. And I was naive.
Did you want a steak knife with that?
I did not get a steak knife. Jealous. Look, long story with that, and I'll probably share it one day, but I was just pumped that he got the... got the steak knife.
Right.
I still want my steak knife. Apparently if you give knives as a gift, it's severing the relationship.
Why would you give a knife as a?
If you're going to a wedding, and
you take.
this is how
I get what you're
this is
saying.
how I learned this. So I was going to buy the steak knives in the really nice stand, and my mother-in-law was like, oh no, you're severing the relationship.
How long ago was that wedding?
Quite a few years ago.
Are they still together?
I didn't buy knives. I got scared out of buying them knives. But it's just making me think maybe I should buy some knives for gifts this year for Christmas. We digress. Here's some knives, Beck. Merry Christmas. But to my point, I never learnt about, and to be fair, I worked in the finance industry. I worked for the bank. I wasn't doing lending. I had no idea about the lending. So the broker probably assumed I knew more than what I did.
Yeah.
But he didn't talk me through fixed versus variable, offset versus redraw. I knew nothing like that. And I was just that pumped that I got a mortgage, that pumped that I got my home. I didn't care.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I started doing lending in the bank that I went, oh, I need to actually care about this stuff. And I should have cared about this stuff 3 years ago when I first got the property.
But no one tells you to care about that stuff.
No one tells you to care about that stuff.
Yeah. And that's, to me, that's a lack of going back to education. But
it's one of our values.
It is one of our values because it's important, though, because if, even you go back to sometimes as a couple, say, there's one who knows a lot about their finances and typically there might be one that has no clue.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be shameful or embarrassing for them as well. At some point when I know people used to come in and go, I actually have no idea about what we have. But that's not to, I guess the education piece of that is you're not the only one who doesn't know because we all don't. At some point, none of us knew. But it's a really important...
And it feels daunting because at that start, you don't know what you don't know and you don't know where to start.
Yeah.
So it's
you don't
super
start.
daunting. Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. Look, I said this yesterday. We keep saying I said this yesterday, but anyway. I think it's super important. It doesn't matter what gender you are, but mainly females because we see it a lot more in females, but it doesn't matter your gender. Everyone should know how the finances work, what they have all of that organized and sorted out. And it doesn't mean, so I don't do our banking. I leave that to my other half, but I know what's what. I know where it's all at and I know how to do it all and get access to it all. And I think that's really important.
Absolutely. Yeah. For whatever reason, hey? Whatever way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if our number one piece of advice today, off the back of everything we've talked about, aside from...
This can sound really blunt, but you're not as dumb as you think you are.
I was going to say subscribe, but yeah.
You can subscribe, but you're still not as dumb as you think you are.
The marketer.
I get told that a lot, that I'm blunt.
You're not... that you're not as dumb as you think you are.
Well, I don't know.
So our key takeaway today is that you aren't...
as dumb as I think I am.
As dumb. Not dumb.
No,
Let's
people.
not say dumb.
No, I don't like that word either.
Let's cushion it. No,
it's not. I think it's just nothing's a silly question.
Nothing
right?
is a silly question.
Nothing is a silly question.
And also, to that point, if there is a question that you feel like, I would like to know this, or I would like you ladies to talk about this a bit more without me coming to the office and having an actual meeting, you can email. I'll pop in the show notes below, but you can email questions, topics. Steve Thompson's not allowed to. But I mean, that's...
Yeah, we wouldn't know what to say.
That gives us content that we can talk about that we know someone actually wants to hear the answer for.
Yeah, and two, it might be something like you think I'm not at the point of you're not at the point of making an appointment, but I've heard this, like my debt recycling. I heard this, but what is this? Can you clarify what this is? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're going to be doing an episode about debt recycling at some point. Yeah.
I know. Can you imagine if the first thing was, can you explain to us debt recycling?
Please don't come in with that question. You can fuck off. I will edit that.
Good.
Yeah, I've forgotten.
Maybe we did need a piece
I
of
don't think
paper.
it needs to be anything
No.
too formal
No, I reckon the way you even just like
that.
yeah,
Okay.
it just offers a there's an offer to assist at the end, like
Yeah.
open up the question.
All right, but we should also do the whole. So in the show notes below, I'll also pop our contact details as well. So obviously, if there is someone that has a burning question that they want to speak to either one of us about, absolutely welcome to. But we would really love feedback.
Yes.
Love feedback.
Yes.
Only the nice feedback.
Yes.
No. We would love feedback, and we would love people to subscribe.
Yes, only good feedback.
Only good feedback.
Nah.
Only good subscribers.
Yeah.
But honestly, we hope to. Well, I can't wait to keep doing. I'm gonna scratch my nose. I can't wait to keep doing more episodes as we actually get into some guts of, just life.
Yeah.
And how to put the finances all together and how to make it not such a scary topic.
Absolutely, like not taboo. Hey.
Not taboo.
Yeah, like it typically was taboo. But not
for
anymore.
now, enjoy our jingle.
So I can't even remember how it goes.
Dollars and distractions. No, I don't remember.
You can just sing it.
All right, let's see if that works.
Can you imagine?
And that was, yet again, I think that one was better.